before the crack of dawn. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, why was I born? I'm so broken hearted, I just can't go on. Since you've been gone,
since you've been gone,
since you've been gone,
since you've been gone.
Now I was so happy with you by my side. You told me you loved me, but honey, you lied. You left me here crying. How can I go on? Since you've been gone,
since you've been gone,
since you've been gone,
since you've been gone.
The night seems like a million years, waiting till the break of day appears.
As the old man that I am now, my recollection of this game is but a hazy recollection as the years have passed by. We were a couple of 13-year-olds from Downey South Junior High School. We knew little about this game, except that Downey was great and was about to win the CIF championship on this foggy December evening. We got there late, but luckily the game was delayed due to the huge crowds of people. We took advantage of the overrun fence that the massive, unexpected crowds had torn down to get into the game. We were among the thousands of unpaid guests. The newspapers later said there were at least 60,000 to see Anaheim and Downey play in the dense fog on the night of the CIF championship game, December 14, 1956, for the biggest high school game in California history. The Rams had a bad season, and USC and UCLA both are finished for the season. The people are eager for a big football game at the Coliseum, even if it is just high school. Officially, 41,383 fans are attending this game. The opening kickoff is pushed back twice because the lines outside the Coliseum are so long and the officials want everyone to see this game. Then there are the people that take advantage of the overrun fence, like my friend and I, which are never counted. The newspapers have this game pegged as a two-man shootout by Anaheim star Mickey Flynn and Downey's Randy Meadows. They had set state scoring records and averaged 16 yards a run. Both teams had swamped their playoff foes and are undefeated going into the playoffs. Sports writers are calling them the best ever, comparing them to some of history's greatest players. Of course, the players knew better. It was going to take much more than two players. This would be a tough game of determined play by each and every man on the field, fighting for every yard and every second of the game. The two teams had terrific seasons and were complete teams, tough defenses and well coached. Booms out of the cool fog like a shot from a cannon, and the deafening roar of the crowd starts the battle. The teams are decimated by flu and injuries from the long, tough season, they slug it out, blow for blow.
The game, we were supposed to leave 2 o'clock or noon, something like that. But we had quite a few players either had the flu or food poisoning or something. So the bus was late, and we had Shirk and Fredericks went up to the game in my uncle's station wagon. They laid them down. And going up to the game, Joe Vitti and I, we sat, we had the coach's seat and then us two. Well, you could hear the kids throwing up. And I don't know if this is for film or not, but it was rolling under our feet going out the door. I mean, they were just, sometimes they didn't get the window down and hit the window. Sometimes they got the window down and hit the car outside. I mean, it was, and it, a lot of people say that pretty good excuse, but it's no excuse. We had quite a few kids sick and didn't play. And Shirk and Fredericks only played a little bit at a time. And
9 minutes into the game, Flynn scored on a 62-yard run. Less than 2 minutes later, Meadows retaliated with 69 yards for a touchdown. Jack Trumbo, however, missed the extra point, his only miss of the season. Anaheim led 7-6 at the half, with Meadows going out in the second quarter with an injury. After some nice running by Joe Avidia, tailback for Anaheim, they extended their lead in the third quarter on a 1-yard plunge by Flynn, making it 13-6 Anaheim. Downey's Ron Russell, Brent McDowell, and Joe Salinger carry the load for the Vikings after Meadows left the game early in the second quarter because of his chipped elbow. Downey's offensive line tore some holes through Anaheim's defense in the last minutes of the second half. And Ron Russell is a warhorse on the last TD drive and scores the last touchdown from a yard out and the tying conversion 3 minutes into the final quarter. These guys are playing their hearts out to the end of the game that ends in a 13-13 tie. Under CIF rules, in the event of a tie, the team with more first downs advanced in the playoffs. Since this is the final game, it's determined before kickoff that a tie would result in co-champions.
When he got hurt, he knew exactly where I was. And he saw me crying, and he ran up and hugged me. So, made me cry more.
Sadly, Randy passed away several years ago. It's hard for anybody to accomplish the greatest things of your life when you're that young. After a short time at USC, he dropped out and joined the Army and played football in Europe, where he sustained a pretty serious concussion. Mickey, on the other hand, went to Arizona State a short time and then attended Long Beach City College. He ultimately gave up football and pursued a career in construction.
The treasure of love is easy to find. It's waiting for you Does she love me with all her heart? Should I worry when we're apart? It's a lover's question I'd like to know. Does she need me as she pretends? Is this a game? Well then will I win? It's a lover's question I'd like to know. I'd like to know when she's not with me, if she's still true to me. I'd like to know when we're kissing, does she feel just what I feel? And how am I to know it's really real? Oh, tell me where the answer lies. Is it in her kiss or in her eyes? Well, it's a lover's question I'd like to know. I'd like to know when she's not with me, if she's still true to me. I'd like to know.
But we played the game, and I got to meet a lot of people after that. And I'm going to say like 30 years later, I'm living in Seal Beach, and there's a little market down there called Dolphin Market. And the guy says, "You Mickey?" Yeah. He says, "I was at that game." I said, "I can prove it." He said, "He was in San Diego in the Navy." And he says, "I caught a ride, came down to the game, and it was all closed up. So I climbed the fence and I got my pants torn, my whites." He says, "I'll show you, I still have them." It was fun now. Since the late 70s, early 80s, as more people talk about this and that, it wasn't hip hip hooray type thing. And just enjoyed the game, enjoyed the people, stayed and got married and raised a family, and enjoyed my kids and this and that. And then Beth and I got together 20-some years later, and now we've got 7 daughters and 1 son and 19 grandchildren and 15 or 16 greats. So we're having fun. We just enjoy.
To the 55th reunion. I am a year behind him, so we usually go to his reunion and then we go to my reunion the next year. And the last reunion that I went to with him, at mine, John Baker, who was the kicker, came, and he was very ill, but he wanted to come and see everybody. And so he went over and sat down by Mickey, and he apologized for missing the kick because he felt like he lost the game for the team, and he's all these years it's worried him about that.
Junior year we played San Diego, and we tied them at 21, I think. And we had a couple hundred yards on the ground more than they did, but they had 3 first downs more than we did. And that's how you advance, was first downs. And I just couldn't, that's not right. He played a better ball game, you know, and I made a couple of 60-plus yard runs. I should have walked out on the half-yard line, and then go in to score for a first down and a touchdown. You know, but you don't think of things like that. But the rules have changed to better, and I guess, I don't know, back then maybe they were thinking of health reasons and injuries and stuff like that, but when you're playing a game, you don't think of it that way. You want to finish it. And I know Downey was the same way. You end up in a tie? Nah.
But we've had a good life together. We've had a lot of fun. We've gone like I say, to each of our reunions over the years, and still keep in touch with a lot of the classmates that we have